Greetings, everyone. Do a little something different today. Normally on this channel we're talking about history, but do this a little, something that would normally happen behind the scenes. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to swap out how I have these targets set up. The reason I'm making a video about this is a couple of the viewers, just a couple of you guys, wrote in and told me that you had similar setups, little target range and stuff like that. Some guy sent me a picture of his, and so I thought this might be something you guys could find useful. If not, I'm sure somebody on the internet will, even if it's not one of my, normal viewers. So anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap out the way these targets are held up, and I'll show you what I'm talking about here in just a second. All right, guys, so these targets are, AR 500 steel, and basically I have a bolt running through the middle of them there with a washer. You can see the back, it's just, bolted through. These two are held up with a piece of steel conduit. I actually have another one that I shot so bad that it couldn't be remounted. I had to go take it to an industrial guy that I know, a machinist, and he drilled a new hole in it for me. But like right here, you can see this one. These posts get shot up so bad that eventually this thing doesn't, hold itself on anymore. I shoot it one time and it falls off. These posts are a real pain to use because they're wider than my T-post driver. And the holes are small, so I have to drill a bigger hole in there to get them to work. This conduit stuff right here is not too bad, but it gets shot up pretty bad too. And then I got to go get more from a welding shop to hold the target. All right, so what I'm going to do today is I'm going to use these Krate Tactical T-post target holders, and I'll roll in some video so you can see what those look like. All right, so these are those Krate Tactical T-post target holders. I got these off Amazon, and I'll just go ahead and tell you guys, I don't have any sponsors or anything like that. I paid, the same price for these that any of you would. Never even heard of them before I got on the internet and started searching for them. But I've got some T-posts here. These are used T-posts, slightly damaged. When the hurricane came through, it knocked down my fence. I had a big, I have a farm here with a pasture, and a couple of my T-posts got bent really bad where they couldn't be reused, and some of them were slightly bent where they could be used again if I needed them to be. So I've already have a T-post driver from having a farm, and so I'm going to mount these T-posts and get them ready to go. All right, so I already have T-posts just from having the farm, and so I figured out, if there's a way I could mount my targets on T-posts, it'd be really good. The problem is, by using bolts, you can't really drill a hole and drive a bolt through a T-post. So I'm going to try out these hangers. I will say this, the biggest complaint that I saw on the reviews was that if you shot it with a big enough bullet, they'll fall off. So I am going to test that. Most of you guys may know, may not know, I don't know. The majority of the shooting that I do is not black powder, muzzle loaders. The majority of the shooting I do is modern cartridges, center fire rifles, handguns, stuff like that. And so these targets have been good. They've taken a lot of abuse over the years, but we're gonna try out these T-post holders, and I'll shoot them from everything, from a 9mm to a 7mm rim mag or a 7mm PRC, and see if the targets stay on. So maybe this will be something somebody's able to use out there. All right, so as you can see, setup's pretty easy. It did fit really good on top of the T-post. Just stuck it on there and gave it a little slap. Target went on good. Some of you might be wondering, why did you move one that was perfectly fine over to that one? Well, I just like to change it up every now and then. Sometimes you get, you develop a muscle memory moving from target to target. So I'm gonna put one more up, and then I'm gonna hang some circles and stuff like that too. And then I'll be shooting these over the next couple of weeks with different rifles, pistols, stuff like that, just to see how they hold up. All right, I got 4 targets set up, ready to go. Obviously, I only did the Krate tactical target hangers on 2 of them. Just because I brought 2 T-posts down here. Those 2 pieces of conduit are still fine. I'll keep using them until I need to, but I want to remind you that it did come in a 4-pack, so I do have 2 extra, which I think is pretty good value. So we'll test them out. We'll see how well they hold up to, big rounds and stray rounds and all that kind of thing, but I'll keep you guys posted. Hey guys, I usually keep a gun on me anyway, and I figured since I'm down here, I might as well shoot this thing a couple times with the pistol that I have with me. So I'm gonna shoot it with my 1911, see what happens. Seems to handle 45 ACP with no problem. But like I said, we're gonna keep shooting it. We'll shoot it with, probably something small like a 223, 5.56, maybe 7 mag, something big. We'll even shoot it with some musket balls and see if they pop off. But so far, so good. Hey, let's see how this Krate tactical target stand holds up to a 60 caliber musket ball at 10 yards. Okay, first of all, it rattled that thing like crazy, but it didn't fall off. Pretty impressive. Let's see how those Krate tactical target holders stand up to some modern center fire rifle cartridges at 100 yards. This is 7.62 by 39. .5 Creedmoor. .270 Winchester. .7mm PRC. All right, guys, so here's the deal. I've been shooting these targets, or these Krate tactical target hangers. I've actually been shooting the targets, but with the hangers on them for about a month now. Not really any complaints up until today. I've shot them with pistols, shot them with rifles, even shot them, you know, with a musket. And they've held up pretty good. Today we shot them, the 6.5 Creedmoor knocked it off, and the 7mm PRC knocked it off. The 270 didn't, and the 7.62 x 39 didn't knock it off. Now, what does that mean? Okay, could those others not knock it off? Could they knock it off? I'm sure they could. I also can tell you that I've shot the same target with the 7 PRC and the 6.5 Grendel, and it hadn't fallen off. I think what's happened, all right, when I put these things on, all right, so it's just, you know, it's sitting on top of this T-post here. When I first put it on, I had to really hit it on there hard. I mean, I had to wedge it down on that T-post. And now it's pretty loose. Actually, I could probably just take my hand and pull it off. Yeah, see, I can just lift it off. So probably what happened, when I first put it on, it was a really tight fit, and that's why it held on so good. I think the more it got shot, especially with those bigger or faster bullets, I think it, you know, it sort of broke in, so to speak, and became looser. And so it, you know, took less to knock it off the target stand. You know, is that a fail on the product? I don't know. You know, here's the deal. If you were shooting long range and the target was way down there, and every time it fell off, you had to go down there and put it back on, I could see how that'd get really old. But you know, it just really depends on your setup. It's not hard to put it back on. That's the convenient thing about it. I would say if you were going to do a lot of shooting at it, maybe with a big rifle, and you didn't want it to fall off, probably go a different route. Maybe just bolt it on like I have on these other targets over here. I've never had one of them fall off unless I shoot the bolt out of it. But the Krate Tactical, I mean, it's done its job, especially, you know, up close with pistols and things like that. Yeah, the big rifles knocked it off, but you know, a lot of times when I'm zero and I use these little discs right here, these are 8-inch circles, I'll use them to confirm zero. You know, I'm not repeatedly shooting at them. I maybe only shoot at them once or twice. And so I think they're going to work for me. But, you know, we'll see. I'm going to have them for the rest of my life, obviously. So if it turns out that I get tired of them, they just become no good, I might swap them out. But for now, you know, I think it's really up to what you're going to use them for. Maybe somebody will find this interesting, or at least helpful if they planned on buying these things. Maybe they can, you know, better decide whether or not to spend their money on them. But anyway, I'm going to keep using them for a while, and we'll see what happens.